Welcome to the first ever Communication Through Art from the World Stuttering Network. Today, we have three performers, Nita Bloom, Phyllis Edwards, and Tim. Tim, you will have to help me with your last name. I should have asked you that pre-meeting, but we'll let you say your own last name. Thank you. First up will be Nita Bloom. Take it away, Anita.
Thank you. I've been writing poems throughout the years. Often it is about stuttering. It's about emotions. I mostly write them in Swedish, but I have a couple of them in English, and I would like to recite this for you. They are very different, and maybe because of the difference, they are quite interesting if I read several of them. Most of them are written at stuttering conferences. One that has helped me to talk to my parents was this one. I called it A New Day. At the age of 5, I loved mornings. Mornings meant the start of a new day, a new life, another day of laughing and playing, being loved and encouraged by family and preschool teachers, with lots of friends and people supporting me, anxiously waiting for a new day to come. At the age of 10, I loved afternoons. Afternoons meant coming home from school after a day of teasing and bullying, fear and humiliation, being ridiculed and put down by family and teachers, with hardly any friends or support, anxiously fearing the new day to come. At the age of 20, I loved nights. Nights meant not to be seen, not to be heard. Another night of crying, terrified for tomorrow, being totally ignored and unloved by family and even myself, with no friends or support or whatsoever, anxiously hoping for the new day to never arrive. At the age of 30, I once again loved mornings. Mornings meant a new beginning, a new period of growth, new mornings of hope and baby steps, trying to be myself and acknowledge my feelings, being accepted by family and colleagues, encouraging me on my new path, with new friends to stutter, support and understanding, anxiously looking forward to a new day to come. At the age of 40, I once again love afternoons. Afternoons mean looking back on a day of wider comfort zones and new challenges, remembering how to live, love, laugh, and dream again. Being loved, appreciated, and even challenged by family and colleagues, and with friends and support groups from all over the world, anxiously waiting for the future to come. At the age of 50, I want to look back at those mornings, afternoons, and nights. Mornings of being lost, afternoons of being found, and nights of being reborn. Days full of love, life, and self-esteem. To now give love, life, and self-esteem to family and colleagues, and to now give support to friends all over the world, anxiously waiting for the new generation to pass it on. My wish for you is to look forward to mornings with hope for the new day to come, to look forward to afternoons and see the progress you made, to look forward to nights and feel good about who you are, no matter what, with love from your family, encouragement from your colleagues, and support from your friends and fellow stutterers, anxiously waiting to help others who stutter to believe in themselves and to become the people and powerful person the beautiful and powerful person you are today. This one I read at the World Congress in Australia after doing a workshop that was very, very emotional to me. And this helped me to talk to my parents. I sent it to my parents, and finally they said, "We never knew. Please come home and let's talk about stuttering." There is another poem that I would like to read for you. I made it at the Nordic seminar in 2002. It goes like this. Why are you looking at me like that? Have you never seen me this sad before? I love to talk and joke and tease. I tell you what I think and feel, answer back and explain things. Tell you how much you mean to me. Tell you why I'm so sad. But the words, they just get stuck. Why are you looking at me like that? Have you never seen me this angry before? People talking past me. They laugh at me. They cut me off and fill in my words. They don't believe in me. I cannot show it. Don't get the chance. And I can't even yell at them because the words, they get stuck. Why are you looking at me like that? Have you never seen me this happy before? I laugh and I dance and I chat and I joke. I don't care. I have a new friend. I love my job. My brother just called and my daughter was praised in school. And the words, they just keep on flowing. Why are you looking at me like that? Have you never seen me this confident before? Sure, I can talk if you just give me some time. Sure, I can do the job if you just let me show it. Sure, I can sing you a song if you just hear me out. I feel good. I know I can, and I know I'm okay because I'm proud of who I am. And the words, who cares? This is a poem that I sometimes read in schools when I talk to students about stuttering. So they learn that stuttering is not always bad. It's not always sad. It has different faces, and sometimes the most important words of this poem are "I stutter, so what." I would like to share one that's a little bit more cheeky. You might have other thoughts when I start with it, but wait until the end because that's where things happen. It goes like this. There you are again. I see your large shoulders and your shiny curly hair. You're talking to a girl, and I wish it was me. The butterflies in my stomach all wake up at the same time. When you suddenly smile at me, I return your smile. My knees turn weak when you're coming towards me. We're standing face to face and I drown into your eyes. You hold out your hand and I take yours. I feel your warmth flowing through my veins. And without a word, we walk towards the dance floor, my hand resting in yours, my cheek against yours. Our scents mix, our hearts beat as one. I wake up when I hear your sweet voice. I hold my breath, waiting for the 3 words to come. 3 words that will make my head spin, my hands sweat, my legs turn into jelly, and my brain blocks with these 3 words. What's your name? This one I wrote after seeing a movie about stuttering, and I think we all know this situation when you're being asked, what's your name? And especially when you're like cheek to cheek with the person dancing. And the only way of saying it is in the other person's ear and you stutter. So I would like to end with a poem that I have not written myself, but it's a poem that I live by because it's just so good and so wise. It's written by a Swedish guy called Peter Kerman. And it's called Other People Are Always Doing Better. Other people live strong and proficient lives. Other people succeed in their marriage. Other people are always successful. Other people have strong contact with reality. Other people can always solve their problems. Other people are always doing better. Nobody has such problems as I have. Nobody is so useless as I am. Nobody messes up its life as I do. Nobody fails as often as I do. Nobody is as hopeless as I am. But remember, to me, you're one of the others. And to you, I'm one of the others. So let's see into each other's eyes and found pride. So thank you, Peter Kerman, for this poem. And with that, I would like to hand it over to the next speaker. Thank you for listening.
Thank you so much, Anita. It's hard to really follow your, sorry, my video. It's hard to follow you after reading that poem. Next up is Phyllis Edwards. And Phyllis, we are so blessed to know you, to have you here today. Everyone here stutters. It's just awesome that you're here with us today, and we can't wait to hear your story. Thank you, Phyllis.
Somebody needs to unmute Phyllis.
Yeah, you're muted, Phyllis.
Marvin, can you unmute her?
Yeah, I didn't even see the, let's see. I could ask her to unmute.
Thank you for your patience. Am I unmuted? Okay. Yeah. Hello, kia ora. My name is Phyllis Edwards, but before I read the story, I just wanted to be honest with you that although I was excited and proud and I wanted to step out and share in this amazing event, yesterday as I was practicing, I kept being tempted by myself to change my friend, the duck's name, to Amy, as it was easier to say, and I was having such trouble trying to say his name, and so I thought Amy's just so much easier to say, but in my stomach I thought, no, that's the easy way out. And so I talked to Anita and Alexis, took on board their wise words, and I feel much better now about sharing this. Instead of changing his name, I'm proud of the message I hope the story brings. And so now I cannot wait to introduce you to my friend Gillis Duck, who I brought back from the Cardiff Wales conference, where I felt inspired to embrace my stammer more at work. Gillis doesn't quack like her brothers and sisters, but that doesn't matter, as she has the most amazing squeak and a very kind heart, which leads her to have lots of exciting adventures. And before I start, I'd also like to introduce Grandma Goat and Oak the Goat. The adventure story we are going to share today is how that Gillis saved Oak the Goat's grandmother. One sunny day, Oak the Goat was out walking, stopping now and then to graze on the grass on the side of the road. When he looked up, he saw Grandma Goat with her trusty pink hearing aid wrapped in her pink and white newly painted horns. She was right down by the green post box in the park. She will be posting more kindness cards to her friends, Oak the goat thought, waving to Grandma Goat while at the same time stopping on the side of the road to let the duck family, who were happily walking to the park, pass safely. Oak the goat could hear their happy cracking and squeaking. Then Oak the goat got such a fright when he saw a big red ball rolling straight towards them. Oh no, he thought, that ball is rolling so fast and might run into Grandma Goat and bowl her over. Oak the goat called out in a very loud voice to his friends, the ducks. Duck family, look, please help Grandma Goat. The duck family stopped and turned around. Oak the goat heard one of the other ducks ask Mother Duck, why does Oak the goat want us to give Grandma Goat a ball? Mother Duck said, no, the ball might knock Grandma Goat over onto her bottom. Oak the goat wants us to help Grandma Goat. You could help her, Dillis. I know you could. Quick, Dillis. Can you please help her? Your kindness always lets you have lots of exciting adventures. Dillis looked at the ball getting closer and closer to knocking Grandma Goat onto her bottom. No time to waste, she thought, but after lots of squeaking to tell Grandma Goat that she was coming to help her, Dillis remembered that Grandma Goat couldn't always hear, so she suddenly took a flying leap, flapped her wings, squeaking as loud as she possibly could, landed on the top of the runaway ball. Then she rolled it safely out of Grandma Goat's way. Mother Duck called out, quack, quack, quack. Well done, Dillis. You sure know how to be cool and kind. Then Oak the goat, who had rushed over to make sure that Grandma Goat was okay, said, thank you, Dillis. Your amazing squeak and your kind heart wins again. That's our story. Oh, thank you.
Phyllis, thank you so much. And I just want to point out that Phyllis is coming to us from New Zealand, where it is 3 a.m. So what an effort to share your story today. Thank you so much. Okay, next on the list is Tim. Saul to Claire Hula.
You did great, Tom.
Help from Tricia.
Oh.
Glad to have you here today, Tim. Thank you. Please take it over.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Yeah, so I'm a colleague of Tricia at the University of Tennessee, and she told me about this, and I thought it would be such, and I was just very interested in this because well, I'll tell you a little bit about the art that I do, and then hopefully it'll make sense why I was just so excited about this opportunity. When I was in graduate school, I had a lot of difficulty paying attention to anything, and so along with stuttering, I have quite a few attentional issues, and I started to doodle in class just to basically put my pen down and to focus, and I just let my doodles go all over the place. And anyway, it was just a way for me to keep focused, and I didn't really think about it that much for many, many years, and until about 4 years ago, I met a lady who is now my fiance, and she's very artistically oriented, and she really likes artwork, and I didn't really have much that I thought I could talk to her about, and so I showed her some of the doodles I did in grad school, and she thought, well, and she really liked them. And she encouraged me to keep doing this. And so I started to sort of keep going, and I started to realize that I can turn these things into different pictures. And one of the things, so if I can share on Facebook, I'll start to show you a couple of the doodles that I've done, and then I'll tell you a little bit about how I think it relates to my stuttering. So I'm on Facebook right now, so and I can maybe start with something like this. And you know, I go through and I kind of just put things on. And the idea is that I just put my pen down and start to move around, and I don't make mistakes. That's my only theme, is that I don't make mistakes. If something is going a way that I don't like, it just turns into something else, and I have no idea where it's going, and I just basically put my pen down and go. And maybe I can show you a couple more. Here's another one that I did, and they just kind of, I just put my pen down and go, and this becomes one of the most relaxing things that I can do. And I find that I can just put my pen down and start to doodle, and I can talk to people, I can have conversations, or I can just focus on drawing and just kind of see where it goes. And here's another one, and I just kind of, and I can change the detail from small to large scale and just see what happens. And here's one that a friend of mine did some acrylic painting, and then I went in and doodled around it and turned it into something else. Here's another one. And I just kind of come up with different patterns, and if I don't like it, it turns into something else. I did a big one, a diptych. They take a long time, and I just kind of make them up as I go along. But I guess the reason I find it so relaxing is that the idea of not making mistakes is very appealing to me, because I think as a person who stutters, I grew up so self-aware, so self-conscious of my speech, that I was afraid to talk a lot of times, because I was afraid that when I spoke, when I stuttered, it would be perceived as a mistake by other people, and people would react to it. And it caused me a lot of difficulty growing up. It made it hard for me to talk to people, to want to talk to people. But as I've gotten older, I realized that so long as you're communicating and you're creating something bigger, you can turn those little mistakes into conversation and connections. And the little mistakes don't matter so much, so long as you just keep going and turn your speech into something bigger than the speech itself. Turn it into communication and connections with people. And I think just doing this kind of artwork with the idea that that it's possible to just not make mistakes and try to turn what you're doing into something larger and more important, I think that has really helped me a lot. And so I guess my message is to other people, children and adults who stutter, is don't worry about how other people perceive the little mistakes in your speech. Just keep going and turn it into something beautiful and something that helps you connect with other people. So that's my little piece. How long does one painting take? It depends. It depends on the size. If I do about, you know, an 18-inch by 24-inch, it might take me a couple of months, but I've done some that are like 24 by 36, and it might take me 6 months to a year even. And I don't do it every day. I just, you know, occasionally I'll just sit down at night and do it, and I'll sort of get on a roll sometimes and work on it frequently, and then I could take a break. So it just, and I don't always have time also. So I just try to do it when I can. But yeah, maybe 2 months to up to a year for one of them. And I've been doing it now for about 5 years. So I've got about 10 different pieces now. So. Genial, I'm not sure. My Spanish is. I used to live in Mexico, so I can speak a little bit of Spanish, pero muchas gracias.
Wow. Muchas gracias.
Tim, thank you very much. Ed, what a concept. I mean, you can't make a mistake in your artwork. And that relates to stuttering because we can't make a mistake when we stutter. I mean, that is amazing. Very, very cool.
Thank you.
So thank you for sharing your art today. For the rest of the session, this is for our Spanish speakers. This is going to be led by two of our World Stuttering Network board of directors, Cynthia from Peru and Joan from Colombia. So take it away, Cynthia.
Bueno, a todos, gracias por estar aquí. Veo que tenemos a algunas personas de Colombia, me parece, algunos asistentes aquí de Colombia, y quisiera poder compartir un video que con el permiso de Joan y él me lo pidió, voy a hacerlo en unos instantes. Un momentito. Okay.
I'm playing the guitar. I love it.
Sí, Joan está aquí tocando la guitarra. He's playing the guitar in this video with someone, also another person who stutters, right? I don't know if you can hear it.
Yes.
Diciendo te amo.
Thank you so much. Gracias.
Bueno, ahí estaba Joan con una otra señorita.
Sammy.
Yeah, Joan with Sammy, that is also a person who stutters, right? Joan, también es una persona que tartamudea, ¿sí?
Sí, sí, correcto.
And Joan loves playing the guitar. And yeah, oh yeah, and Joan loves playing the guitar. It's a way, it's something that he finds to like connect and communicate. Es algo que ha encontrado para conectar y comunicar. ¿Algo que deseas decir, Joan? Y yo lo puedo también explicar.
Sí, que la música ha sido una puerta de escape desde mi adolescencia y ha sido de gran ayuda emocional y personal.
So music has been like a door to escape from some things during the teenager, when he was a teenager, and it makes him connect with the emotions too, and well, something like very emotional for him. Claps for Joan. Bravo.
Gracias.
Yeah, I guess we don't have another participant. Yeah, they are not here, I believe, or maybe they will enter later. I really don't know about it, but thank you.
Sí, quizás son los horarios, ¿no? Complejos.
Well, thank you so much, Cynthia. Thank you, Juan. Just amazing. Thank you so much. So we'd like to conclude with a question and answer session for the performers today. So if you have any questions that we didn't talk about on the chat bar, feel free to ask. So just unmute yourself and just throw it out there. So I've got a question for Tim. Tim, during your presentation, you talked about that you would doodle when you talked to people. Was that a distraction for your mind so you wouldn't think about stuttering when you talk to people?
No, I mean, I don't always, well, to be honest, the only person I talk to and I doodle is my fiance. She's usually the only one in the room, but I just find that I don't, I can just, it's not as a distraction, it's just that it's something, I can multitask because I just kind of let the doodling go where it goes, and I can maintain a conversation, or I can listen to a podcast or do other things while I do it. And I find that very relaxing. It's just a way to help me focus, and I find I can converse well when I'm doing it. So it's I guess it just settles me down. Oh,
awesome!
But thank you for asking. You know,
okay. Do we have any other questions for the performers?
Can I ask a question to Phyllis?
Of course.
Hi, Phyllis. I really enjoyed your story, and I just wanted to know a little bit about what inspires you. What inspired that story?
I'm an early childhood teacher, and one of the reasons I almost gave up was right at the start was I was worried about reading stories and that to the children, and I had to find strategies. And also after I'd been to the conference in London, I was looking for a storybook, any kind of storybook really to bring back to the children at the kindergarten, as children are really accepting and loving. And if you read a story and stutter and that, they don't care. But if you tell a child that you read a story and you get waylaid and that, and you don't. That's when they notice. And so I took a story back, and the Dillis book just dropped off of the couch table, and I picked it up, brought it back with the puppet, and that's how it started. So that was the start of it, and it kind of just grew. And I suppose, and I always had good relationships with children and parents and that, and they used to say thank you. But it was only after those stories I realised that even if you are a teacher or in any role and you have a stutter, it doesn't matter, as that's life. And so that's how it started.
That's beautiful. Thank you. It's amazing how those things in our childhood resonate with us for the rest of our lives.
Yeah, thank you.
Great question, Tim and Phyllis. Thank you for your answer. Does anyone have any other questions for the performers today?
Phyllis, do you have more stories coming up?
Yes, every time that we had an awareness day at work, I used to write a story, and the children in that would take part. And it reached a point in the end where I'd walk in with Dillis, and the girls in that would say, Dillis is here, Dillis is here. And yeah, it's just part of us, really. It's just my way, I suppose, of doing it. And when you're 3 and growing up in that, and you're having trouble talking, you never dream that you'll reach a stage where you can share these stories. And yeah, and so it's just been really neat. And the discovery of the Facebook pages and that really helped me too. As I thought, oh, there's other people out there and they're all achieving their dreams and they have a stutter. So I just really appreciate all of you. So thank you.
Thank
We
you.
appreciate you, Phyllis, and that sounds like a future storybook for all of us to enjoy.
Thank
That
you.
would be awesome. Yeah.
Yeah.
Joanne,
Especially,
do you have, oh, I'm sorry.
especially talking to pets helps a lot.
Yeah, sure it would.
So I've got a question for Juwan. Do you have more songs on YouTube? Maybe his connection failed. Yeah, he kind of has spotty coverage where he is. Okay.
I have a question for Anita.
Yes.
Yeah, I would like to know what are some of the feelings she had during this process of writing poems, maybe during this process and after. What are some feelings that maybe you can share with us?
Yeah, mostly I write when something just pops up. Of course, I also write for birthdays, Christmases, you know, but my emotional poems, they come up as I'm feeling things, as I'm listening to speakers at a congress, when I meet other people who stutter, when I meet people who don't stutter, and how they react to my stutter, and then the words just come. So I have to write it down like now. So some of the poems, they are written on my hand or napkin or whatever. It's like the words are here now. I have to put them down now. And that's when the best poems come, because some days when I have to write a poem, nothing happens, while other days it just flows. And I like to mix them also, because some poems are kind of sad, some poems are very proud, but the ones that I like the most is poems that are both, because we are both. We have days when things just suck, and we have days when we're like, yeah, look at me. So yeah, and I like to use poems just to make people understand. So that's why I like to mix different emotions in my poems, but they just come as they come, just like doodling. It's like they just, well, appear. Thanks for your question.
Thank you.
I was curious about the same thing, Anita. Your poems come to you all at once, or and then how long does it take? You know, or because it sounds like when you get inspired by a range of emotions, which is what I really noticed, is how many different emotions you capture in your poems, and I think it's beautiful. But they come to you all at once, and then, or does it take a time for you to think about the experience and get the words down just the way you like? Or I'm just kind of curious about your creative process.
Poems like the ones that I just read, they just come. I just write them down. It's like 15 minutes, then it's done. It's like a volcano eruption. Wow. It just flows.
That's amazing. It's great.
So my dream is to write song lyrics. I wrote my first lyrics for the World Congress song in Iceland, and I felt this is what I would like to do. I can't write music, but I can write lyrics. So maybe one day.
Yeah,
wow.
I'm sure, yeah, your songs would be beautiful too, I think.
Thank you.
So in closing, I would like to go around the room, if you're comfortable, and share maybe one or two thoughts that you're taking away from today. I can go first to get the engine running. That's how important realizing that stuttering is not a mistake. I've been guilty my entire life of having bad stuttering days or beating myself up, but just how important that is, that stuttering is not a mistake.
Yes, I agree with you too. It's the fact that for so long I thought that part of me wasn't quite right because I had a stutter, and then the more I came across other people and that, it kind of grew, and that's why I never ever thought I'd reach a stage, even with my lack of computer skills, that I'd actually be able to sit and share. And I think Joe, who's an ex-pupil of mine, and we still stay in contact, he just subbed up stuttering. Joe used to always beat me in the mornings and have a story to read, and his favourite one was, there's a hole in my bucket. And one day I was outside pushing Joe on the swing, and I said, Joe, I just love reading you stories, even though it's sometimes takes me a wee while, and he didn't even stop swinging. He just carried on swinging, and he said, "Phyllis, I love you, even if there is a hole in your bucket." And so I just thought, yeah, that's all it is really. It's just a hole in our bucket, and it's a hole in the bucket which can become a learning thing and a teaching thing. And why I share is because I want other people and women and men to know at an earlier age than me that having a stutter is okay. And so that's why I was quite happy to get up at 3 o'clock.
Yeah, I could add to Phyllis' thoughts. Yes, we might have this hole in a bucket, but we fill it with music, with poems, stories, art, music. So we have so many qualities.
Yeah.
So we could always fill this hole, which we might feel that we have. We can fill it with our qualities, and then we can fill it up with so many other things. So we can fill this bucket with all the qualities that we have.
Yeah, that's what's happened. That's true. Thank you. Reading my mind again, aren't you, Anita?
As always.
Okay, so we'll close this out unless anyone else had a thought to share.
Yeah, I would like to say that it's important to find a way to communicate and express ourselves, and it could be through art, like drawing and writing poems, maybe music. And the cool thing about expressing through art is that this kind of artistic expressions stays, and then you can share it with others. It's like the poems you wrote it, and you wrote it maybe 10 years ago, but it stays, and it can be shared, and maybe 20, 30 years later. So it's very, very, very cool. The same with the pictures, the same with the drawings, the stories. So it's something really valuable, and it's a treasure to express through art, because it stays along for many years.
How true.
Beautiful. I think Cynthia and Anita and Phyllis have beautifully captured what we just talked about, and I just want to say again, I think this is a beautiful idea to let people's individual differences or different personalities shine through art, and to just, I mean, I think it just tells us how important communication is, and that's what we can keep striving to do. And art is a beautiful way to do that. And songs, poetry, storytelling, and I think it just felt really great to be a part of this today and see how everybody is making use of their individual gifts to just to do this thing that we all need to do, and communicate. And I think this was a wonderful idea, and I'd like to thank you for organizing it, Tom.
Well, this was Joanne's idea.
Oh, well, thank you, Joanne.
Cynthia was part of it, so they did a great
so
job.
much.
It was his. I take no credit whatsoever. So they did a great job. So
Well, beautiful idea, Joanne, and I hope we can do it again.
okay, so before we close out, I just want to ask Phyllis a quick favor. Would you bring your husband back into the room, please?
I will, hold on. He's in bed. I'll just go and get him.
He's in bed, Tom.
Well, we have to wake him up for this. He can sleep all day. It's okay. I can't believe that she got up at 3 o'clock in the morning, and so did he. This is like incredible, you know. We were back and forth on the time, and she was the one. You know, we're like, you know,
It's,
what do we do? Yes.
sorry to interrupt. He's on his way. He's
Okay.
getting dressed again.
Oh, I didn't realize there was so
He's
much
such a
trouble.
patient man.
trouble.
He's such a patient
My
man.
apologies. So we just wanted as a group to thank him. I mean, who in the world gets up at 3 o'clock in the morning with his wife to help her with the technology? And I just wanted to express our appreciation to him for helping you. Because Phyllis, you were such a sir.
Very
We would like to thank you for getting up at 3 o'clock in the morning to help your wife with the technology. It was such a blessing to have her here today. She is so enjoyable. Thank you, sir. We need to give you a round of applause.
Thank you.
Oh, you're so lovely.
Okay, so so thank you everyone for the first ever communication through art. Thank you, Cynthia. Thank you, Juwan. Thank you, Marvin, for the technical assistance. Thank you to all the performers. It was just an amazing time. So thank you so much. And I look forward to seeing everyone at the next World Stuttering Network event.
Thank you.
For sure.